Hello everyone, welcome to Novel Creative Tutorials. Today we are going to start a new tutorial series and it's going to be about expressions in Adobe After Effects. And in our first tutorial in this series, we are going to learn how to use sine wave expression, which is very useful to create physical simulations in Adobe After Effects. So create your composition and let's get started. So after create your composition, I have here in my comp a line, a shape layer, and a circle here. Nothing is animated, and so now we're going to start adding the expression here first to the circle. So let's open these and let's go to position here, or just hit P and then Alt, click stopwatch to open here this expression field. And so the first thing we're going to do is creating a variable. So let's add x equal in this comp period width divide by 2 semicolon and y equal sine or math period sine open parentheses, and let's put there time times math period pi, and let's close parentheses. I'm going to explain what is this doing. So this is the math sine expression, and basically inside here we need to have math pi, and here we need to have any values that we want to. So what we're going to do here, open these brackets and type x, comma, and y. So first, this x is just to put the circle in the middle here, and the y is what we want this to start animating using math sine expression. So we will see this is jump over here, and we will fix this, and you barely see this moving right there. It's very slow because here there's no amplitude, high amplitude on this. So let's multiply this by 2 and you will see nothing really changed. So if, for example, here we multiply this whole thing, maybe 50, multiply this, and now you will see this is moving. So first, let's actually move this to the center. So plus these comp period height divided by 2. We have here a type mistake. We need to fix it first. And so now you would see the animation on this using the sine expression, and you see how this is animating. Very cool. And the math sine expression here, it need amplitude, we need frequency, and we can add. So just forget about this. This is just to put this in the center here. We are focusing in here. So we're going to create variables here. So let's put there maybe frequency equal 1.5 and amp for amplitude, and this is going to equal 50. And so here we are just going to change these values, amplitude, and let's put here frequency, and let's add maybe 2 again there. So here amp map frequency, so here, well, there's the mistake. So now we can just change here the frequency maybe to 3, and it's going to be more faster as you see. So maybe more amplitude, let's put there 100, and too fast, maybe 0.5, and this is very cool. And so now we want to attach this line to this circle. So let's open this, and because we need it. And here we're going to do the same thing, P, and this time we're going to create y for this equal, and pick whip the value here of the y, so we have it right there, semicolon, and open bracket 0 and comma y, and close this bracket. And so what we're going to get here is attached there, and we're going to center the line. So we're going to change its anchor point to the left, and as you see, it's going to be right there. And as you see, it is attached, also animating right there. And so now if we open here the graph editor and want to see, this is the sine waves, but we want to draw these sine on here. So what we're going to do to create that kind of looking animation of sine, and there's a lot of things we may need this. So let's create a new solid. Let's name this sine wave, and we're going to apply effects called right on. And basically what this is doing, here we have a brush size, so just a dot there, and let's create a brush position keyframe there, and let's move these right here, and you would see this is creating this animation wherever this dot or brush position moving. And here we have this strength length, so here we can maybe the int start animating as well, something like this. So it's pretty cool and straightforward to understand. And so now we're going to reset this right on effect and get rid of the keyframes and expression. We're going to add expression to this, so hold alt for open this expression field, and here let's create our variables. So let's create frequency there and amplitude 50, and now we're going to add here x, and here we're going to need to create one more variable here. So velocity for this equal maybe 50, and here we're going to times velocity and comma. So now we're going to add y expression here. So for this we're going to use a math period sign open parentheses, the same that we did, times math pi, and let's make these 2 pi, and here we're going to multiply this with our frequency, and we're going to close this, and here we are going to open the brackets. Here we have x and y, so you would see something happen right there, right here. So we need to fix this. So on the y we're going to add this comp period height divided by 2, and so we will see right here. And so here we're going to need our amplitude so we can see those waves, and here you will see something weird. So we need to fix brush spacing here, so we need to make it very small, and you could see right there now we are drawing that right there. Let's maybe put this to 100. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. And here let's put actually 150 for the velocity. So it's actually moving, having more space there. So this is the X here and the Y for this. So let's preview and see how this looks like. Well, so as you see, this is look as it should be, and basically here, let's change the pen side to on transparent so we can see the other ones with it. And as you see here, this line follows the dots as well. There's a little bit of shifts right there. We can fix that later. So here it follows animations as well. And let's look at these here. I'm going to get something basically similar. And so now we want to make these sine waves look very interesting, like create the modulations and variation of the signals and all those stuff. So how actually we can do that? So first thing here, we can do a lot of cool stuff using math expressions in Adobe After Effects. So for example here, let's say we want this sine to maybe we want more frequency with time, so it add up more frequency. So here we're going to multiply this again time, and so we're going to see something very interesting happening here. So you could see you get more frequency as times is going, and this is very cool. And maybe we want the amplitude to get a little bit you know divided as well, like getting smaller. So here on amplitude, we're going to divide these by time and multiply it by that. So we're going to get something like this. And this is very interesting. So it's going to keep going like that. And now we want to create another type of signal. So we're going to create this clipping on the top and bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is removing the time that we added and leaving the expression like this. And so we're checking here for the minimum value of the Y of the brush position. So this is the minimum value here. And this is the maximum value of Y. Let's use clam. So Y equal clam, open parentheses, Y comma, and they're going to put like 490 and 560 and open close parentheses and semicolon. So now we're going to not see anything because maybe we need to maybe this need to be 500. Maybe this to be 3. Yeah, so like we are clamping those signals. Let's get rid of time here. Just once. So as you see, we're cropping here the signals. So basically, this is what the clamp function is doing. We have a new outputs for our value. So this is very useful. And there is another useful way to create this more interesting. So here, let's first actually attach these line and stuff so they are going together. So over here, what we're going to do is this Y, all of it need to go on here. So right there, semicolon, and there we go. So it's exactly driven by the first one. And let's make this maybe the amplitude 100 to make it a little bit bigger. And then here, maybe we can go further. So as you see now, we are getting really just another type of animation. And let's get rid of this. And let's see, okay, we want it back to where we left it. So here we have our, and now these are attached to our drawing. And let's see here, we want to basically do something else. So maybe y equal, and here we have Math.min, and so the minimum of the outputs of our y itself. So we're going to add another minimum of this, so 500, comma 3, maybe like these values. So now we have just like the minimum values between the two right there, and we can have the maximum instead. So let's put actually the maximum there. So math, min, and max are two functions which we are getting totally different looking of the signals. So as you see, what this is doing. So now we know the max, the math max and math min expression, so the minimum and maximum. And so there's another ways of making these looking very interesting. And here, what we're going to do is, let's rename this frequency 1 and add another frequency. This is going to be frequency 2. And let's put this 0.5, and let's change this to 1 and rename this to wave 1. And let's get rid of this. Just delete it and add semicolon, and let's copy all of these and just paste it again and change this to wave 2. And let's remove the amplitude as well and change the frequency to 2. So we have 2 waves. The new y is going to be the wave 1 multiply wave 2, and we're going to multiply that by amplitude. And so basically we need to actually add these comp height. So just to put it where it should be, divide it by 2. We have here something wrong. So now we have the modulation here. Let's look at the graph. So as you see, we have what in the graph, we got it right there. So we are drawing that right there. So this is very cool and interesting, and basically we can make it more complicated. So maybe this going to multiply this by time again, and it's totally we're going to get a different different look, as you see. and we can maybe divide it so we have the inverse of that. And so we can just normally change the frequency and the amplitude to make it look the way we want to. And so this was the tutorial of today. Hope it was very useful for you guys. And if you have any question, just comment and I will do my best to be responsive. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorials coming soon. And thank you for watching.